Hey everybody, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to CCUK Resin Q&A Live. I am chatting to Erica, the guest at the minute in Discord, so hopefully she'll be with us shortly. We will see, but I hope you're all having a good week. Great to see everybody in here as well. I can see Kernix, Nikki, Lisa, Rin, Wendy's in here as well. Dee's in here. We got Lula as well. So we're getting a good turnout on these now. It's nice to see that. I think everybody is looking forward to meeting the creators. Hi, Dan. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Smarties as well. I think it's Sally. Well, we've got Erica now, so I can let her in. So she made it. And everybody, I want to hear a round of applause in the chat because she's not feeling great today. So let's say hi to Erica from Kitschy Kitten Studio. I always struggle to say that, but how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Better than you by the sounds of things.
It's all right. I laughed. I told my sister, of course, I sound like Barry White on the day that I'm supposed to do my live chat.
Well, I always sound like that anyway. I've always got a bit of a rough voice anyway, so don't worry about it. So great to have you with us. Our second guest from the States. So we had Bass Resonator Tim on before, but it's nice to have somebody else from over the pond as well. There's a lot of frantic clapping going off at the minute in chat. So I think people are excited.
I can't even see the chat.
You need to click on comments at the top.
Thank you.
There you go.
Oh, look at all the clapping. Yay!
There we go. Yeah, you need to click on that so that you can actually see it. But it's great to have you on. It's great to get to see another creator because all I see on your videos are obviously your hands, the same as normal, and a big diamond ring, I think, on one of those fingers.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Kitschy, he did a good job.
Yeah, definitely. So I spotted that. But no, tell us more about your channel. Where did the name come from for a start?
Well, I love mid-century modern stuff, like everything mid-century modern. And I was looking for a name for my Etsy shop that I had probably like 2015.
Yeah.
And I love kitschy stuff. And I like the atomic cats from the time frame. And so I don't know, it just kind of happened. And then I stuck with it. So it's hard to say, but it's fine.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, I think we talked about it last week, how I used to live in Hungary. And kitschy out there means small. So I didn't know if there was some sort of, it was small kitten studio. But there we go. We know now.
Small kitten studio. All right, I'll take it.
Yeah. So what have you been up to this week? Anything exciting?
Just trying not to die. Just kidding. Oh, excuse my dogs. They're barking at something.
Hear them.
But no, I've been super busy for like the last 2 weeks. I was making a ton of stuff for a raffle that we were having for my youngest daughter's band at school. And so I've just been working and working and working. And so this is like my downtime on this week. So
yeah, relax a little bit and chill. Yeah. I did see the Chinese New Year coasters and the frog as well. I thought they came out great.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're in a very multicultural community here. And so a lot of people around us celebrate Lunar New Year. So I just thought, it'd be kind of cool to make something.
Well, again, a lot of the largest suppliers as well, I find in resin are based out in China. And I didn't know until I spoke to one of them that they have like almost a national holiday where they have, I think they call it the Springtime Festival at the same time, where I think they almost celebrate that more than we would sort of Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. It's big. I remember them. I think Mr. Kitschy was in China during the Lunar New Year at one point. He'll say it in the chat if I'm wrong. He's Dan Guerra, by the way.
Okay.
But yeah, he was there and everything was closed down, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what one of the suppliers said, that they'll have to get back to me with a response because they're on springtime break. And I was like, okay, springtime at this time of year, but there we go.
Yeah.
Apparently the wind over a ladder set your dogs off.
Yes, we're having a delightful storm here in California today, so
Oh dear.
it's quite windy.
So, what dogs have you got?
I have two. I have a mini poodle. She was a rescue. We got her when she was 7, so we think she's a mini poodle. The vet does too. And then I have a Cavapoo, which is like a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel crossed with a mini
Yeah.
poodle.
Oh
So
wow. Yeah.
yeah. So
Smaller dogs
she's
than
like,
Reggie then in that case, because Reggie's
yes,
sort of bigger now. But I have to put him in his
like
cage every time I do
quarter
this
of a
because otherwise,
Reggie.
yeah. But no, with your channel then, what made you get into it? Because obviously I've looked through your channel and you've been on YouTube for quite a while, but you've only really been doing videos, I think, for the last year.
Yep. Yeah. So I finally decided I wanted to participate in one of the collabs, and it was the Christmas time one that was from Claire's Crafty Corner.
Okay.
And this is not like my wheelhouse. I make lots of stuff, but I'm never on video. I'm not, I don't do any of that, right? So my husband is like my biggest fan. He is my biggest encouragement. And so he was like, you can totally do this. You can totally do this. And
Yep.
I was like, all right, well, I guess if I flop and everyone hates me, who cares? There's tons of people on YouTube they can go watch. And as it turns out, not everyone hates me. So
Yeah.
that was nice.
No, it's always a bit of a surprise, isn't it? To see actually when you post those first few videos out, oh, I'm actually getting views. What's going off here?
Yep. I didn't think anybody would care at all about any of the stuff I was doing or had to say. So it was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. Oh, everyone's chatting up your husband, it looks like in chat now, so be careful.
Yes, they are.
Um, but no, it's been an interesting journey as well, and I'm sure it has for you. Those first, I think you're on 54 videos, I think it is now, if memory serves correct, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
And
somewhere
it's
around that.
interesting to see. I think with every video, hopefully, if it works correctly, you start to get a bit of momentum and you get a few more views.
Yeah, it's definitely headed that way. Um, the best views I've gotten on my video, which video was that? Probably Mr. Kitschy would know too, but I think it was the Beetlejuice tumbler that I made.
Okay.
And that one I think did the best, which I actually have because I was like, he's going to ask me what my favorite make is. So I'm going to show him. So can you see that?
Wow, I love that. I can see the design, definitely.
Yeah. So um, this is where I learned that I'm actually not that tragic at polymer clay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I've not played with yet, actually, polymer clay, but I don't know. I'm good at wood sculpting, but I haven't tried it with clay yet. So
Yeah.
maybe
A
that's
little
my
different.
future.
I feel like polymer clay is not as dangerous. There are really no fast spinning lathes or chainsaws involved. So that's
Oh,
better
I'm
for
not.
me.
I haven't got a lathe yet. I can't afford one of those, and I've not got the room. But maybe in the future. But I know what you mean. It's quite easy with even with those power tools that you use the rotary tools.
Yeah.
If you use the burrs, they're really sharp. And I've seen people before, even using like the proper protective gloves, cut straight through them.
Oh, yeah.
So you have got to be careful.
Yes. Yes, for sure. I'm a
Which
klutz. So if it's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong for me.
and that was 36 hours of using one of those to get this done. But
That's
I'm so
incredible.
happy with that in the end. But I think it turned
Very
out well. And I got my table yesterday as well. So I don't know if you saw that in the chat.
I didn't.
But yeah, my 3D that's actually a lamp now.
Very
And the only
nice.
reason I'm showing this is I think it was JD and Rin said that they haven't seen them yet.
Cool.
And then this is the 3D Bloom table.
Oh, that table. Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so
It's a
both
blur.
turned out well, which was a surprise. Normally, when you do a big project, it's hit or miss whether or not it works.
Yeah, it looks great. I loved it.
So, what got you into resin?
Honestly, nail polish, as weird as that
Okay.
sounds. So I love like the UV gel polish. I used to go get it done all the time. And of course, me being a crafter, I was like, I can do that myself. So I bought the stuff for it. And eventually I was thinking, this stuff cures with UV light. I bet I could use it to make other things.
Yeah.
And so, oh, have a good night, Suda. And so I tried it in open back bezels, and it was so cool. I had a lot of fun. So I started with that. And then very cool, Wendy. Yeah. And then Mr. Kitschy was like, well, you should try regular resin. And I was terrified because I knew
Yeah.
what to do with the UV. I didn't know what to do with regular resin, but it went okay. So yeah, I started out that way.
I secretly don't like UV resin. I don't know why. I've done a few projects with it, but I just prefer two-part. I have less go wrong with two-part epoxy than
Yeah.
I do with UV. And I think it's because I'm a little bit crazy at time and add all sorts of stuff to it, which probably affects it curing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have a lot less problems with two-part than I have with UV.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It's a learning curve, and I don't really use it for a whole lot at this point because the two-part epoxy just works better. And given that they have the fast curing kind, it's sort of almost unnecessary to have the UV. I
Yeah.
do like it for coating and stuff like that, though.
Yeah, for doming and stuff like that, I think it is great, and again, it's quicker. Although we have now seen, I think on one of Tracy's videos, that new resin that cures in like an hour. Got to try some of that, I think.
Yeah, interesting.
But it's
Traumatized
one
by
of
the bear. Yeah, are you?
yeah, the bear's not in the table either. I didn't use the bear in the table in the end. I was going to throw it in there, but I didn't want to risk spoiling the table because I thought
Yeah.
it was going to go well. But I've still got to think about what to do with that, and I might just spray it and paint it.
I don't know. It got a lot of funny reactions in this chat, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited to see you just mount it on the wall as a conversation piece.
Yeah, well, maybe I could have it behind me, couldn't I? And just keep
Right.
that on the wall behind me. I mean, I've not thrown it because I never throw any resin, so he's still here. Meth Bear, as he's being nicknamed now, apparently.
Yeah,
But
fair. Yep.
there we go. So with regard to your channel, then, what's the plan longer term? What do you want to do with it?
I'm just going to keep going. I
Yeah,
figure people sort of like watching what I make, and I can be funny at times because, well, humor is how I deal with the ills of life, right?
yeah,
So I figure it's entertaining enough. People like it. I'll just keep going. And if, a bunch of stuff comes out of it, great. And if not, that's okay. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing.
yeah.
So
I noticed in your last video as well, you sort of crack yourself up sometimes. I think you did in like the
yes,
voiceover, and you had to stop yourself and then
yes.
come back.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I was like super tired too because we had that fundraiser thing that happened the night before. So I was up later than normal and I didn't get a lot of sleep and I was sort of semi delirious. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know what happened. I just started laughing, and Mr. Kitschy was in the other room in here and he could hear me like I could not stop. So I'm not sure I'm funny to anybody else, but I'm funny to myself. So that's fine. I'm good with
I
that.
really like your commentaries, actually, your voiceovers. I think it's very easy watching, which is great. And I think I've said it a few times on sort of this live. That's one of the great things. Every artist, every creator is unique in the way that they sound, the way they deliver it, even the way they edit the videos. And I think that's the great thing is there's almost something out there for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, apparently you was laughing for a solid
Yeah.
10 minutes.
I would go to start the voiceover again and I'd have to stop it because I couldn't stop laughing. And it was like
That's the best
really,
kind, though. When you
yeah,
can't stop and you have like that sort of belly laugh, I call it, and then that's it.
yeah,
It's the best kind.
yeah, exactly. I really was going to take that out, but I decided to leave it in.
Yeah,
Hopefully it made somebody else chuckle. Even if it's at me, that's fine.
yeah. If it makes somebody else smile, it's worth it. That's what I
Yeah.
say. So, but no, it's great, and it looks like you've got quite a few fans in chat as well. So,
Yay.
Lula is saying that she loves
Yeah. Thank you,
loves the
Lula.
videos.
Oh, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. This is such a cool community to be a part of. I never dreamed I would be able to be a part of a community of such supportive people and such funny people and kind people. I love it.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the best things as well. Is I suppose in the Discord we all chat as well, and if somebody's
Yeah.
having a bit of a rough day or not feeling great or whatever it is, there's usually somebody in there that can sort of pick them up and sort of get them motivated again or just make somebody smile. And I think that's one of
Yeah.
the great things about the whole resin community.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Who was it that sort of inspired you then for resin artist wise?
I think the first person I started watching regularly was Claire from Claire's
Okay.
Crafty Corner, but um, I actually watched a lot of Tumblr makers at first.
Okay.
So that was like my main goal was to do tumblers, and I do those as well, but I also really like pouring. So yeah, I watch, of course, Tracy. I mean, we love Tracy, right? So she's one that I watch all the time. In fact, there are so many people in the group that I watch that I'm like stuck to my phone all day long. It's
Yeah.
kind of a bad habit. But yeah, I think that Tumblr making was really my first passion and
Yeah.
what got me into resin. My first Tumblr I made was an absolute disaster. Absolute
Okay.
disaster. Oh, it was bad. But yeah, I like making them, and
Do you
I've
know
kind of
what?
branched out there.
That's the key. If you have a disaster, you just carry on until you get it right. Eventually, you do. And then when you've done it, you've almost earned it, but by going through those mistakes.
Right, exactly. I mean, I had no clue what I was doing. And it's funny because I'm the type of person who I want to do something and I'll watch 864 videos of other people doing it before I will
Yeah.
even attempt it. So it just cracked me up. I mean, I'm sure I was pretty annoyed with myself, but it was really funny how it turned out. So I've
Did you keep
clearly
it?
gotten
Did you
better.
keep it? That's the
Oh, I
question.
have it. Yes.
Yeah. You've always got to keep
Yeah.
your first piece, and then
Yeah.
hopefully 10 years down the line, you'll be like, look at the difference now.
Oh, I used fast set on it,
Yeah.
and that was a huge mistake. Huge mistake. It just
Okay.
globbed on everywhere, and but hi, a special delivery. This isn't my first one though. You remember the first one was the red and blue one,
Yeah,
but
the first one you actually liked.
yeah. So this is the first real tumbler I made
I don't
for.
think that's that bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I made this for we had a trip to Hawaii, and so I made these for all of us.
Yeah.
But
You'll have to do another one now because obviously I think Hawaii is loosely where Moana's based, and obviously Moana 2's just come out now. So you could do
yep.
one with like the green, is it the green heart of Tahiti or something?
Yeah, the heart of Tafiti.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Tahiti, that's it. So you can't tell I've got two girls, but there we go. But yeah, I think, do you know what? It's amazing how you progress, and tumblers is something I haven't tried yet. But again, I know that you have to really have a turner in order to do them properly.
Yeah, you do. I mean, every tumbler I make has an oops somewhere in it still.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this for a couple of years now. So it's just yeah, it's a learning process every time. And there's
Yeah.
some when I make them and give them away and I'm like, I don't ever want to see that again. Don't I don't want to see it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to know that exists anymore because it's just gone so sideways.
Yeah. But you know, sometimes they're the most fun, you know, when it goes wrong. And it's like I've had some disasters like we're all joking about Meth Bear down there. And yes, it was a waste of resin. But you know what? It was still fun to do. And yes, I
Yeah.
wasted the best part of 8 hours there with a pair of scissors cutting up like resin paper. And then it didn't turn out. But you know what? It was still fun to do. And it's still, I think resin for me, it's just about being creative. And if you can focus on something for that long, you almost forget anything else that's happening around you.
Yep. Well, and see, having ADHD helps. And I was like late diagnosed. I was only diagnosed about 2 years ago. And it was funny because when I got diagnosed, it was like, oh,
That
everything made
explains a
sense,
lot.
you know? And so we get this thing called hyperfocus, which isn't a great thing to have. It sounds cool, but like you get zoned in on something to the detriment of eating, drinking, all of that stuff, taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
But it does work out for stuff like that when I need to concentrate.
Yeah, and I think I've got friends that have ADHD, and you're right. Sometimes they'll focus on one thing and they can't stop until it's complete, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that's obviously if they do art, that can be quite bad sometimes. If they're planning a big piece, then they
Yeah.
could just focus on that for 2 days and forget absolutely anything else.
Yep. Absolutely. I've totally been there. So I have to watch myself there. But, it does. I feel like the ADHD community is pretty creative as well. So I feel like that helps too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's been a great outlet for me. I use the creativity and the art for mental health reasons. I mean, mostly because it's frowned upon to just go around killing people. So I do art instead.
Yeah, it's probably not the best thing to do. You might find yourself in prison or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
But Tracy's just mentioned something as well. So again, for anybody watching this back, there is a collab going off at the minute for Valentine's Day, and I still think there's time to enter. So
I hope
there's already
so.
I think there's 4 days left. I think it was up until the 8th, I believe, if memory serves correct. So anything Valentine's Day themed, if you want to get involved, send Tracy an email with the link, and it will get included in the collab list. And the great thing about that is you'll probably get more views, because Froggy Fridays, that's going really well at the minute. And the Froggy videos that I've done, they seem to get a good lot of views at the start. And I think it's because we all sort of power watch each other's videos, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she says on the 8th by 9 p.m. That would be your time, not my time.
Yeah. I don't know if she's got mine, actually. I did email it early, so I was a bit naughty.
I've been down on the count, or down for the count, so I haven't even started it yet.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to get in there, but I'm not so sure. I might have to have Mr. Kitschy take over. We'll see.
And mine's already been given away as well. Mine for the collab. So I did a members prize draw, and I decided to use that as the prize with Valentine's Day coming up. And it was cool. Break the Mold Resin Art Lisa. So she's won my heart, as it was.
Oh, the heart. Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, I just thought, again, that was something different when I get around to actually posting it, that is. Tracy's saying that I need to send it again. So, because I sent it before the 4th. Too keen.
Can't follow directions.
Yeah. So what's your next sort of venture in resin? What's a technique that you haven't done, or a project that you've got in your head that you want to get done that you haven't done yet?
I have like a million. So
yeah,
I have a notes app on, if you have an iPhone, you have a notes app, and I'm sure Androids have it too. Yeah. And I will get struck by something, some brilliant idea, which like sometimes turns out not to be very brilliant, but at the time it sounds great. And I'll put it in my little parking lot notes and refer back to that later. But the one thing, like I've been doing resin stuff since I think 2019, and I've never done a bloom. So I really need to do that. I'm terrified because I know it's just going to go sideways, but
as long as you get your temperature right, you'll be fine. Don't panic. Yeah. And that's what I say to everyone. If you use a medium 1-to-1 and you pour at about 35 degrees, don't mix your white too heavy. You'll be fine. And sometimes the alcohol ink ones are the easiest. So literally just drip your alcohol ink on and then use your white bloom paste. But sometimes the mica ones as well, they come out really good if you don't mix it too heavy. Gotcha. So yeah, as long as you know your temperature and you've got a way of measuring it, you'll be fine. Because I think the problem most people do is they wait 20 minutes and they just pour.
Yeah, no, you have to be more precise than that. And I'm not precise, so that's my worry. Dragons, what did he say? Turtles and dragons? Okay, Turtle Tuesdays. Yes, he actually was like, I want to start a Turtle Tuesdays. And I'm like, I think like the weekly animal thing has been done.
Yeah.
But
Wednesday wolves, we could do wolves on a Wednesday.
Wolf Wednesday. I will personally join a Turtle Tuesday. Okay, but then you're going to be in my space. He's going to be in my craft space.
But there you go. He could have his own channel.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Dueling channels. Oh,
Dan's resin art. I can see it now.
Yeah, he's good. I was super annoyed. Like we did the frog sort of competition together, and his first pour was immaculate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's just rude. Do you know how many times I had to pour?
Beginner's luck. That's all it was.
Mr. Kitschy's Creations.
Oh, there we go. I can see it happening now.
Oh, Dan's Dragons.
That's another suggestion.
Very nice.
What about do resin with Dan? Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Marsupial Monday. I like koalas a lot and opossums. But yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun doing that with him. It was really cool. And I am actually going to do a couple videos with my daughters as well.
Okay.
So I need to get those going.
Well,
But
that's one of the ways I got into it was actually my oldest. So she's 14 now, and when she was 12, she got into resin. But as like most kids, they get into things and then get out of them.
right.
So about 4 months later, she got bored of resin, and then I inherited all of the molds that I'd bought her. So I was like, okay, well, I need to start looking into this and seeing what I can do. And even now, she'll look at my pieces and just go, "That's all right." And that's literally the feedback I get from her because she's typical teenager, and I
I've
think it
seen
almost
better.
embarrasses her. It embarrasses her that I do this, I suppose, in case any of her friends see her dad on YouTube. But I don't think that's very likely.
Oh, that's funny. I don't think my daughters are embarrassed. Teenagers, yeah. I have two. So we have two. One's
Yeah.
14, my youngest, and then my eldest is in her senior year of high school. So American senior year is like the year before you go off to university. And
Okay.
she she's like my best friend. We're besties.
Yeah.
The younger daughter, like I'm really close to her, but I do think I embarrass her sometimes. So we'll
Yeah.
see how that video goes.
Now, my youngest is only 6, so I'm still the best thing in the world to her. I love
Absolutely.
that age between sort of 6 to 8. They're sort of in. I think the speech is all there, the intelligence is there, so they can actually communicate and say what they want.
Yep.
And you're still the best thing in the world at that point. And then I think when they start going into maybe 10 onwards, that's where the hormones start coming in, unfortunately.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
I have been told that you just need to get past
You
the
do.
14 to 16, and then they become your best friend again.
Well, I have 3 older sisters. I'm actually the baby, and
Right.
our mom used to joke that she wanted to put us in deep freeze when we were, like, 12 and bring us back out at about 21 when we were normal
Yeah.
again. And, you know, it's funny to hear when you're a kid, and then I had kids, and I was like, "Oh, I understand this now."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my girls are great. I can't complain. I have 2 of the best daughters, so can't say a negative thing about it, but yeah, it's rough.
That's the same with me, that they're well behaved, and with each other, they're amazing, which is something that I feel quite blessed by, is the
Yeah,
fact that
it's
they don't
rare.
argue. And Megan almost, she sort of takes on that motherly role with her sometimes, and I think that's lovely.
Yeah,
And for that, it's great. But I still have the teenage hormones. If I could just get rid of those, it'd be
yeah.
perfect.
I hate to break this to you, but that comes back around full circle.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we end up in the same boat again in like our 40s. And you know, that is just a ton of fun. That's all I can
Okay.
say.
Well, I've got
So,
that to look forward to then.
yeah. Poor Dan. He's okay though, I think. I don't think I'm too bad. But
Yeah.
sorry, honey.
But no, it was funny a couple of years ago because I was still with my partner back then,
Mhm.
and I was at home and there was me and all girls, and then at the office I worked in there was a team of 12, and I was the only male in the office,
Oh
so it
my
was like
gosh.
constantly surrounded by girls all the time, or ladies all the time. It was yeah, it was a bit strange for a period of time, and then we recruited the first other male into the office, so it was almost a bit of a relief at that point.
Yeah, well, yeah, I bet. I bet. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. I know where you sleep. I know how to find you. And I listen to a lot of true crime, so I'm
Oh
pretty sure
dear.
I know how to make a person disappear.
Yeah, definitely. There's lots you can learn on those. Apple seeds, apparently, they keep them, grind them up, I've heard.
Oh, there are some wild stories. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I know you don't do that kind of law. I get it. You wouldn't be able to represent me anyhow, but yeah, I love true crime.
Yeah.
I really don't know why. I think it's the like psychology behind stuff. It's super fascinating to me. I mean, it stinks that, you know, it's a crime.
And somebody
Um,
dies usually, but
right,
yeah. Yeah.
typically, yeah. But I find it sort of like morbidly fascinating, and
Yeah.
I
There's
feel
a
like that's a
program on
really
in the
good.
UK at the minute called Silent Witness. And it's basically it's been going, this is the 28th series now, so it's been going a long time. But it's all
Wow.
about pathologists and morgues and things like that, and how they
Ooh,
help sort of solve the cases. And actually I'm just really interested by it. It's not the fact that I want to see somebody dead on a table. It's the fact that how they can solve crime from it.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Silent witness. I don't know. We have BritBox. I'll have to see if we can get that.
Yeah. I
That
think,
sounds
have you
good.
got Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it won't be on there, but it will be on BBC iPlayer if you can get it on there. Thinking
I
about it.
don't know. Oh, thank you,
Uh,
Lisa. And also, hi, Sally. I saw you say hi. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the conversation and watch people saying hello.
oh, dear.
Um,
Nikki's got access to an incinerator. Oof.
well, look at you,
That is a little
Nikki.
bit scary.
Kirk might need to be a little afraid.
Yeah.
Little sleep with one eye open.
Monkeys on fire.
Oh, it's not available in the US, he says. Oh,
Uh,
man. He has a whole plant.
There we go. But again, I think that program, it must be coming towards its last series though. 28 series. It's a lot, and
Yeah.
again, it's gone from I think 3 or 4 years ago, and it's like in the States. I know you've got shows like The Apprentice.
Oh, yes.
In the UK, we had it as well. The
Oh, did
first
you?
few series were brilliant, and now it's just how entertaining can you make those
Right.
characters rather than the actual business acumen behind it, which it used to be about. But yeah, it's very it's too much for the entertainment nowadays, and I can't bear to watch it.
No. I'm not a huge the only reality TV I really will watch is like crime documentaries or I've watched a few serial killer documentaries and those are really cool, but like not cool because people die. Sorry, I should
Yeah,
really sort of rephrase that. But they're fascinating.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't watch a lot of I don't know, reality TV. It just seems too canned,
yeah,
a little fake here and there. So,
yeah.
Wendy, you don't have a TV? Wow.
So that's why Wendy subscribes to everyone's channel, because she's already on her phone watching them.
Perfect. Hey, I
Because that
actually
was
had a
really
friend
interesting as
growing
well.
up that Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, having a YouTube channel, I never thought about it until taking it seriously, like I have done the last sort of 12 months. But when you look into your analytics, it tells you a lot about people in general. And the fact that sort of 70% of viewers, I think, watch it on the telly,
Yeah.
which I didn't even think about. And until I started making videos, I never thought about watching YouTube on the telly. It was always on my phone.
Oh,
So it was
well,
just
I
just
watch it
very
on TV all
bizarre.
the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kind of half blind, so it works. I watch it on the big screen. I can see everything.
Yeah.
Um, but somebody said that their younger sister is a forensic psychologist. Was that you, Lisa? That's really cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah. There we
That's
go.
awesome. Oh, yeah, there it is.
There we
Awesome.
go. So, but no, it's again, I bet it's a really interesting profession, probably very underpaid.
Yeah, oh yeah. It would be hard to
Most
do.
of the cool jobs are.
Absolutely.
So, again, obviously, you're at 550 subscribers at the minute. I
I
think
don't think so. I'm less than that. Mr. Kitschy probably knows better than I do.
I thought it was about 550. No, sorry, 396. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm close to
Sorry, I was
400.
mixing my numbers up. So, what's your plan by the end of the year? Have you got a goal?
I would like to get to 500 subscribers. That'd be cool. Just to
By
say
the
I've
end of
done
the
it.
year?
Yeah.
I think you'll go
I
way past
mean,
that.
that would be even cooler. I would like
Yeah.
that. I'll take that.
Because I think, again, if you're consistent, it will happen and people grow, and obviously the community grows. They get used to seeing your videos, want to watch them, and I think that's where it starts to make traction. And I think as soon as you hit like that 500, it seems more achievable to get to 1,000.
Yeah.
Although saying that, mine's been really weird the last month. So I was on 7,390, I think, in December subscribers. And I was like, oh, gonna get to that 10,000 pretty quickly now. And then for the whole month, it's sort of gone up and then down, up and down, up and down all the way. And I was like, you're either not liking the content or you're only liking one video and then hating the next one.
They're like, I didn't sign up for this. Forget it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think people just, I feel like a lot of it might be that people get busy, and they're like, I have so much stuff in my feed. I can't pay attention to this, the things I really, really want to be
Yeah.
watching. I highly doubt they don't like you. So,
Wow. Who knows? But again, that's the great thing. People can not like an artist, and then they can find somebody else that they do like. And I think that's one of the good things. Apparently, you can get Silent Witness on BritBox.
oh, you can. I think we
Yep.
have BritBox, don't we, Dan?
So
He
there you
knows.
go.
Cool.
There you go. New program for you, hopefully.
Absolutely.
And you've got 28 seasons to watch, so you'll be fine.
Perfect. And I have the whole Discord group to help me decipher what they're saying, because there are so many times when there are like terms you'll use and things, and I'm thinking like I need a glossary of terms because I don't think
Yeah.
that means what I think it means.
Well, interestingly, when I lived in Hungary, I went to an American school for 2 years. So
Gotcha.
I actually had an American accent back then and things like that, which was really bizarre. But
Wow.
I'd come back over here for the last 2 weeks of school at summer, and they'd always be correcting me on things
Mm.
like my spelling and using the wrong words. So it's like, I know there's words like faucet, we call it a tap.
Right.
Pavement, you call it a sidewalk, and all of these little differences. And then
Yeah.
colours is spelt completely differently,
Right.
and all of these
Exactly.
things. So
Yeah.
even though it's technically the same language, there's still a lot of differences.
Yeah. Absolutely. And there are things that I've learned are naughty to say if you're in Europe or the UK or anywhere over there, and not naughty here. So I've tried to keep an ear out so I don't accidentally offend people.
So what are those words? I'm intrigued.
Can I say things? I don't know. I don't know what I can
Yeah.
say, but like
We'll
there are
soon know if it
nicknames,
gets cut off afterwards, but yeah.
right? All of a sudden it goes dark. I'm like, whoops, sorry.
Oops.
Like there are nicknames for certain body parts that I was not aware of. I've learned that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's funny. I like that.
Oh.
Fanny?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah. It's mostly like the nicknames for things. And yeah, I'm trying to learn just so I can keep up.
There we go. Well, that's the first time we've had that word on a live. So there we go. You're the first one to say the word fanny on a live.
You're
That could be
welcome,
your claim to
everyone.
fame. But no, Lisa's saying obviously words like fanny pack, that's quite common.
Right.
Which
Yes.
or again, I think in Britain we mainly call it a bum bag, weirdly.
Well,
Even though
that
it
makes
goes,
sense. I mean,
yeah,
that's the same thing, right? Well,
yeah.
for us, it's the same thing. Yeah.
Yes, Tracy, several times. We had to get it in a few times.
There are some other words we're supposed to get in sideways, and I don't know how to do that. I'm working on it.
Yeah. But interestingly as well, next week we're going to be doing a bit of a different live. So Tracy's agreed to come on again, which is nice. And we're going to do, rather than resin Q&A, it's going to be more about growing your YouTube channel.
Oh,
So
very cool.
because a lot of us here have YouTube channels that we're trying to grow, and I just thought I spoke to Tracy on the back end, and we thought it'd be a great idea to do. Wendy's coming out with words like lady garden now.
Sorry.
So there we
Every time
go.
I see somebody like say or write Lady Garden, I die. It's so funny. Lady Garden.
But yeah, it's oh, Lula got oh yeah, I remember that video. But again, when you record, you just go into autopilot, don't you? Sometimes, and I think that's the thing. And do you know what? Never edit those out, because I think they're the bits that make the video so unique.
I don't know. I keep telling Mr. Kitschy, like, I don't know how you guys do it when you're talking while you're making things, because I have like curse words flying out of my mouth. I'm saying weird stuff. I'm talking to my podcast. Like, people would definitely unsubscribe if I did that too often.
So who does your editing as well? I meant to ask, because your editing's always pretty much spot on.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I've worked really hard on the editing. I get frustrated with the software a lot, but it's fine. I didn't know how to edit it first, so I would just watch videos and see what other people did, and the kinds of things they left in and things they didn't, and just kind of went from there. So yeah.
That's a fair point. Where is Dirty Gertie when
I
you need her with all
know.
these words? Missing out tonight.
Missed opportunity.
But no, the editing, that's one of the things I always look at, because that's something I still need to improve. Don't get me wrong. My
Same.
video, there's a few things. So my workspace at times when I'm doing like 5 or 6 projects in a row isn't the tidiest at
Yeah.
times. And I know that I've noticed that feedback wise, but also the editing. And it's because for me, I want to get onto the next project sometimes and do that. And
Yep.
even a short video, it can still take 2.5, 3 hours of editing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You can spend probably 10 hours editing on a video, but if you still get the same amount of views,
Yeah.
then is that time well invested? Is the way that
Right.
I look at it.
Exactly. What am I doing this for?
But yeah, it's interesting to see everybody's different style with that as well, and different editing softwares and what you can and what you can't do, and all sorts now. And it's like even these lives, I could go pro on StreamYard and pay a fee and be able to have a lot more features.
But why bother? I mean, it works. People are watching,
Exactly.
right? So
yeah, we can hear you, we can see you, and that's the main thing. I've also interestingly had one of the bigger artists communicate with me on email as well about potentially coming on as well. So
very
you
cool.
may have all heard of Michelle from Glitz and Glitter.
Yes.
Yeah, she sent me an email. So hopefully we can set that up over the next few weeks as well.
Awesome. That's very cool.
Still trying to convince her though, but apparently one of her viewers comes in to this live and sent her an email to get in touch. So it was nice the way that can work, and obviously expand the community.
Yeah, for sure. It's fun. I love these. I mean, I was terrified like everyone else, but it's mostly just because I sound like Darth Vader right now. That was wonderful timing.
I don't think you sound that bad. Your voice, I think it sounds fine.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not as bad as I thought it would be, but yeah.
Can she bring Dan to? I think that's Michelle's partner, I think, on Glitz and Glitter. I've watched a couple of the videos, so yeah. But no, that's not confirmed yet. It's not confirmed date-wise, so I don't want everybody to get too excited and hold me to it. But we are in email conversations to see if we can make that work as well. Because again, I think it's just great to keep on growing. So there's a few artists that come every week as well in the chat, just there or that way probably. And it'd be great to get you guys on as well. So if anybody's not been on yet, send me a DM. It's not scary. It's just a chat. And I didn't even make Erica wear her dancing clothes from her younger years.
Yeah, no. And so, and it wasn't like I did go out dancing a little in my younger days, but I was actually like a competitive dancer. And
okay.
Yeah, so I
what,
did
was it ballet or?
No, that was like the one thing I didn't do, which I just didn't like it. It wasn't my thing. But I did actually a lot of 90s hip hop. So
oh wow.
It's really funny because like the moves my daughters are learning, you know, is like stuff that I did in high school.
Was that like the Craig David era of sort of hip hop and the 90s? I think he was big in the UK in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the big dancer, like dancing sort of artist was Jamiroquai. I don't know if you've heard of him. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I was part of a dance studio and we would go compete and do all of this stuff. And so we were always watching like Paula Abdul. Oh, nice, Lula. Yeah, but we would watch Paula Abdul and we'd get the choreography stuff going. And so I was always really into dancing.
Wednesday saying she'll come on, but she'll have to put a bag over her head apparently. I'll tell you what, guys, if you guys have to put up with my face every week, you'll be fine, Wendy. Don't worry about it. But no, I do remember Jamiroquai, actually. He had quite a few decent big tracks, and actually in his music videos, I think he actually did quite a lot of dance routines as well. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was fun. I mean, I didn't really have an outlet for it after I went to college, to university. I didn't have a lot of, an outlet for it at that point. But I did it all the way through college. And I mean, in high school, we went to a really small private school, like a Catholic private school. Dan and I both went to high school together. We weren't high school sweethearts or anything, though. We reconnected later. But we didn't have a dance team. So I had to be a cheerleader. And if anybody knows me for any length of time, I am not a cheerleader at heart. I'm like
Okay.
a ray of pitch black. So that was fun. I liked the dancing. But yeah, so it was fun. I don't go dancing anymore though, and also I could get like a big toe into one of those costumes at this point in my life. So
Well, my only dancing was even before I was a dad. It was embarrassing dad dancing on the stage every time. Night out,
hey,
I'd be on a stage doing embarrassing dad dancing, but that hasn't changed either over the years. It's the same moves.
hey, it's all good. You're up there and you're dancing. Like I don't care. I love it when people just get out there and do their thing.
Do you know, it used to keep me slim. So no matter how much I
Yeah.
had to drink, by dancing, you're sort of sweating it out, sort of thing. And that's it. You're burning off the calories at the same time.
Oh yeah, it was a fantastic workout.
It
Oh,
looks
everybody
like we
wants to
need to
see the
see
dog.
Astro as well. We need to see
Yeah,
Astro, Erica.
my tiny Reggie. He's
Yes.
what's Astro?
I think Dan's threatening to show us Astro, so that'll be cute.
Well, it's not Dan's Astro. That's a whole other kind of video.
Okay. You know, in the UK, the fake fat football pitches are made out of AstroTurf. So,
Ah, hi, buddy. This is Astro.
oh,
Hello. Oh, hi. Oh, someone's very excited.
is that the cross between the King Charles Cavalier?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's something. I love this dog. He's so cool. But it's really fun when you go to the vet and the vet is like, "Oh, he has a lot of energy." I'm like, the vet is saying that, and she sees dogs all day long. He's
yeah.
kind of crazy, but he's my
Look,
furry little bestie.
luckily though, he looks manageable size wise.
Yeah, if you were well, so my sister has a Labradoodle, so another curly one, but like a really, really big Astro, and I
Yeah.
can't imagine.
Well, that's
Huh.
that's the thing with Reggie. Well, I'm lucky that I walk him mainly early mornings when there's not many
Uh-huh.
people around, because and people are scared of him because of the type of dog he is. He's all muscle
Yeah.
basically, but he's soft as anything. But he does think he's a kangaroo, and he'll just bounce at people and bounce around like that. And it's I need to get it out of him, and I'm hoping that he grows out of it because he's what 14 months now, and he still hasn't grown out of it.
Aw. Well, Astro didn't grow out of it, so hopefully Reggie
Yeah.
will. I mean, but he gets away with it because he's like, this big. So
Well, the vets
otherwise,
told me to potentially consider having him done,
yeah,
which will calm him down. But I don't know. I just think I'll feel bad about having him done, because again, he's quite a proud dog, and I just think it
he's
would
proud
upset
of his
me.
bits.
I think so. He just sits there on the settee like that with his legs like that, and I'm like, okay.
Wow. Okay. Well,
14 months is still a puppy, apparently. So there's
yeah.
still hope that he's going to grow out of it.
Yeah. Well, maybe. You never know. How funny. I don't think Astro was proud of his bits. I don't think he knew he had any. He's just happy-go-lucky dude. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Huh. You can get down.
But that's the thing. It's like even now, Lisa will tell you what she wanted to do a bit of a test before we did her live.
Uh-huh.
And Reggie was literally jumping on my knee and would not get off my knee. But because he's such a big dog, that causes a few issues.
That's really funny. How cute.
But
like
no,
having a
he is
naughty
great. He's a
two-year-old.
character.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, Sally, Huskies are a handful and a half from what I understand. So
I love
yeah.
that they sing though, Huskies.
They
So
sing, yeah, they
sometimes
sing the song of
it's
their
almost like they're
people.
singing. Yeah.
That's cute.
Oh. But no, it's has anybody in chat got any questions for Erica? Because we're approaching the hour, and it'd be great if anyone's got any questions about her channel, resin in general. Now's your time to answer it.
Or anything else. I mean, within reason.
Oh, chemical castration. I haven't heard of that before.
Neither have I.
I'm hoping that D means for Reggie, not for me.
We like you as you are, Andy. No, you're good. Don't
Good.
worry.
Good.
Yeah, Huskies talk
Well,
back. I mean, I think my dog talks back too.
Yeah, Reggie definitely does. And it's funny because we'll have a conversation sometimes when he disagrees. He doesn't growl, but he's got his own little grumble that he does to me to let me
Mhm.
know that he's not happy.
Yeah, he's talking to you.
There we go. We've got a
Any
question
big
from
makes
Lula.
planned? Well, so Mr. Kitschy has bought 2 large molds, the dragon mold from Julie at
Okay.
Pouring Your Heart Out, and then I don't know if the turtle was from her too, I think so, and so he wants me to do both of those, and I've kind of been avoiding it because they use so much resin, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't wanna mess this up," but I think that'll be my next big make will be those.
Yeah, I think they hold it quite a lot, actually. The turtle, I
Yes.
think Tim was saying, weighed something like 5 pounds when it had been done.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
So,
huge make, so,
and that's the
um,
thing. You almost think you don't want to risk doing it in case it goes wrong.
and you waste all the resin. Mhm. Yep.
And then I always try and think of a backup plan of what I can do if it doesn't go the way that I hope it will.
I just figure I have something to kick if it goes sideways.
28 fluid ounces for the dragon, apparently.
Wow, that's a lot.
That is. I mean, that,
64 for the turtle?
although that was 36, and I thought the turtle was bigger than that.
Show of hands to me, Dan. Are you coming? I think he's gonna go put a hat on and then pop in
Yeah.
for the big frog to appear in her store. Yeah, I told Dan, I was like, oh my gosh, I have frog envy. I love that
You
mold.
know what? Do you know what I thought as soon as I saw that? It would be amazing to have that small frog, then a slightly more transparent one in the media one. Hi.
Yeah,
And then the big one all in one piece.
frog and a frog and a frog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you say hello?
I waved.
You waved. Mr. Kitschy.
Yeah, we got a
Hi.
quick
I got her
wave. Hi,
half.
Dan.
This is really
So
because I'm
I-
talking, then like 5 seconds later, it's here.
Oh, feedback.
Well, he's going to be coming back on the show anyway when he starts his own channel.
You gonna start your own channel?
No, guest starring at yours only.
Okay. He can still come on though, right?
He's got some fans. Everyone's saying hi, Dan. So yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the resin pour that you did, right? You're stealing all my friends. First resin pour you did was
Stealing
perfect.
friends.
Rude.
I'm visiting. I'm
I
saying hello.
know.
Hi, dude.
I'm just kidding.
Back to the turtles for 1 second. I did order one for you from Amazon. It'll be here on Saturday.
The turtles?
Or sorry, not the big,
The frog?
the big frog.
He ordered me the frog mold. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Thank you, Lisa. Well,
That'll
there's
be
a ginormous
exciting.
frog in my future.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing that actually and what you do with it because they are so big.
I don't know what I'm going to do with it either. I'll have to figure something out.
Something special.
Yes. Delightful. I'll make something very cool out of it. Or something that sucks, but either way,
The
it'll
only
be
thing that
something.
puts me off at the minute, and I've seen quite a few of Julie's molds that I actually want, but it is the postage, like Tracy's saying there. It's because to post it to the UK, I don't know why, but it seems to cost more from Australia.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I mean, did you get it off of her Amazon store?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
So we got free shipping.
Although I'm
Free
going to have my
shipping.
first go at mold making this
Ooh,
weekend, so that'll be
cool.
interesting. I'm waiting for one piece to arrive to finalize the project, which is just like an amethyst crystal.
Ooh.
And I'm going to, because obviously I'm doing a lot of blooms now.
Yeah.
I want to do some deeper blooms and deeper effects. So I'm just going to make my own mold. I thought it'd be easier.
Very cool.
And I get to do
Very
a video
cool.
on it as well.
Awesome. I look forward to that. I love your makes. You're so creative. I feel like everybody's so creative. And I go to sit, I sit there and I'm like, okay, what can I make? And it's like I make the same 5 things every time. I need to branch out.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm a bit like you. You mentioned you've got like 100 different ideas and things like that. So I'll wake up at like 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes and just have an idea and then just write it down somewhere. I might have come back to that idea for 4 or 5 weeks, but I will come back to it eventually. And then it's like ticking them all off a list.
Yeah. Yeah. I have tons of tumblers I want to make, but I'm trying to not do too many tumblers because in large part our community is more about, resin pouring and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a bazillion tumbler ideas. So I
But it's
need
the same with me and blooms. You know, I love doing blooms, and 50% of my videos are probably blooms. I'm going to
Yeah.
keep doing that because I enjoy doing them, and that's where as well as the audience, it's also got to be your channel. I think what you enjoy doing, and
Right.
it's really strange because although I like making them, it's not necessarily my choice of decor.
Mhm.
So the table I made, I absolutely love the effect. Would I want it to stay in my living room forever? Probably not.
No.
So it's just a case. I'll probably end up giving it to my oldest girl for her bedroom, and I'll say, "Here you go, you can have that now." But again, it's when you come to thinking about if you're going to do it as a business or sell things, it's how do you price it? Because I was talking about it at work today, and this has probably used nearly 2 liters of resin, which
Yeah.
isn't cheap. Then you've got your legs as a cost, and it's about probably a week's worth of work. So
Right.
to get anything back, it'd have to be about £200. But nobody would pay that for a little table, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So,
the trouble I run into as well with like the tumblers, the amount of work that goes into them. I would never get that money back.
no.
There's no way. So, you know, I do make tumblers for people when they do orders and things like that. Bye, Wendy. Thanks for being on. But yeah, for the most part, when I do those, I don't have like all of the super duper intricate details and things like that because I just never make any money off of it.
Yeah, you'd lose money, definitely. And I think that's what people don't realize. And I think part of that problem, and don't get me wrong, Temu and things like that, it's great because as a beginner, you can get some cheap molds and try things out, which I think is great. But the problem is now they're starting to do things like the finished resin products on Temu.
Yeah.
It's like I saw the frogs pop up on Shein, I think it was the other day, for like £3, which is probably about $5. You couldn't make them for that.
No.
And that's the worrying thing is they probably can because they mass manufacture them.
Sure. Yeah.
And
Well,
then
it's like
people see,
oh, sorry, go
no,
ahead.
sorry, carry on.
I was going to say it's like the AI artwork, right? Like I
Yeah.
can sit here and draw something and it's going to take me several hours to do. And then you pop onto Temu and like it might have an extra finger, but it's way cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's the thing where I think it's getting harder to differentiate between the two as well sometimes. So
Yeah.
it's like all of the creative groups we're all probably part of on Facebook. I saw one the other day, which was like a dragon coffee table. And it, don't get me wrong, it looked amazing as a picture, but it was clearly AI. And everybody was like going, "Oh, that's an amazing table." And I'm like, I think you'll find it's probably AI the way that it had been done. And I could be wrong, but I think there's a lot of people where they're trying to create a following on pieces that aren't real and are just being created by AI.
Right. Yes, Lisa, like, have you ever noticed the AI drawings? There's always something slightly off about them. If you look at them closely, it's like, where did that extra arm come from?
Yeah.
That's not anybody's arm, but they sell them.
They do. And that's the thing. I mean, and don't get me wrong, AI is great for other things. I love, for example, like making music tracks and things like that. I've always enjoyed the idea of that, but never actually done it because I'm not that musical myself. As you can probably tell, I've not got the best voice for singing. But now I can just type in some lyrics and words into like Udio or something like that, and it will come up with a whole track for me. It's amazing.
Right. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. I mean, it has some great uses, but it definitely needs a little bit of work.
Yeah. Oh, Tracy's saying Mid-Journey have now fixed the fingers thing. That's an English phrase as well, that they've cracked it. It means that they've sorted it. I don't know if you've got that in the States.
No, I mean, yeah, sort of. I've picked up so much though. And there are times when I'm talking to him and I'm like, oh, that's something that my friends across the pond say. I can't say that. I don't own that.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to, you know, limit my sayings that I've gotten from all of you.
Oh, apparently your butterflies on the wall need resin in them.
My what?
Saying,
the butterflies?
on the wall.
Yeah, these are antiques actually from the 70s. They're like kind of hideous, but I love them. So
yeah, 70s is not an antique. I refuse to.
I mean, I didn't put the label on it. Don't look at me. I'm definitely not an antique.
It was before I was born, so that's fine.
It was like slightly before I was born. But yeah, no, I can't put any resin in those, unfortunately, but they are cool. Maybe I can make a mold out of them.
Yeah, there's an idea. Make a mold and then fill it with resin.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
That's
no,
funny.
it's been great. We've been on for an hour. I think everybody in the community's got to know you a little bit more, which is brilliant. And
Cool.
anybody that is watching this back, obviously make sure you subscribe to Kitschy Kitten Studio. I think I got it right that time,
Yeah.
which is great. Harder to pronounce than it is to find on YouTube. So just search
Correct.
it and you'll find it. And obviously, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. And anybody that's watching that has a YouTube channel that wants to come on, let me know. It's not that scary. We can
It's
have
not.
a chat and you get to know everyone. Erica, you've been amazing, Lisa says.
Aw, thank you, Lisa. It's so nice to get to like meet everyone. I love it. They said
But
it
it
was
is
all for me.
that's one of the reasons why I started doing these. I think it's just everybody getting to know everybody.
Yeah.
It makes it almost like a real community, which is nice.
Yeah. I'm like a real person. I'm not just hands. I exist.
Oh, thanks for that, Tracy. And don't forget as well, guys, if you're watching this after the event,
Thank you.
next Tuesday at 8 p.m., me and Tracy will be doing, again, the same as this, a live where anybody can ask any questions that they've got on how to grow a YouTube channel. Tracy's probably more of an expert than I am on that at the minute, but I'll try and give my 2 pence worth, as we say. But again, if you've got any questions in the meantime as well, feel free to email me or Tracy beforehand and we can do them in advance. Tracy's just said exactly the same thing. So there we go.
Yeah.
Any questions in advance, either let us know in Discord, send us an email, and we will try and get the answers for you ready for next Tuesday.
Cool. Well,
Brilliant.
thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you for being on. It's been nice to meet you. And
Yeah,
again, we now know more than just the 2 hands. So it's great.
Awesome.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right.
I'll
Thank
see
you
you all next week.
Cool. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.